Well, we came out after a long weekend break here to look at the Z car, and there are
ants.
Ants, and you notice
a lot of them are carrying little white eggs.
Well, when we first looked at this car over at Keith's,
there was an ant colony in the back.
There was an ant colony, and I have bug bombed this garage to move the car here, so I'm kind of surprised to see so many ants. Also today we made a very necessary update to the car. We, you know, put the little tree in there.
You find it in every car.
You find one in every car. That's what they say.
Yep.
It's the code of the repo man, right?
Yeah.
Dum dum dum. It'll smell better anyway.
It was smelling like musty stuff.
It had old car smell.
Yeah. This is new car smell.
Not new car smell. Ta-da!
It did have old car smell, which smells like old upholstery.
Mm-hmm.
And now it has new.
Yeah, and gasoline.
Old upholstery and old gasoline.
All right, well, after our break here, we haven't worked on the car in a few days. We now need to see what we're going to do with the tank. We talked about sending it out to have it cleaned, but I don't know that it's really that bad inside. So we're going to take a look down there and kind of see how it is. If it's just a little cruddy in the bottom and not really rusty, I think we'll just try to give it a good old slosh cleaning. If it's real bad inside, we'll take it somewhere and have them like pro clean it. So we're going to look inside right now. All right, we're going to try to go down through the fuel filler hole and see what it looks like inside there.
Oh, I see something.
Yeah, that thing down in there in the bottom, you see that? That's the float that goes up and down and shows how much fuel you have left in your tank.
Is that like where the fuel meter, like, does that connect to that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fuel sender, which is right here on the outside, has that float inside there. And so when the gasoline goes up in the tank, the float goes up and it sends a different electrical signal to your gas gauge on the dashboard. You know. See if we can really zoom in there. No, it doesn't really look too cruddy in there, to be honest. It's like a little scale rust, but I'm not seeing like there's no holes or anything. Look at the top of it. It looks really pretty clean. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go and get some acetone from the hardware store, which is a pretty hot, heavy solvent, but it'll break up any goo that's in there. I say it looks really clean to me. I'm kind of surprised, happily surprised. But you know, I'm sure it's never been off the car and never been cleaned out before. So it's probably time to just do it while we have it off the car, and then we can put it back on and button it up. Yeah, I just opened the hatch and got completely sprinkled with ant eggs.
And ants.
And ants.
Ant eggs and ants.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it looks like we're going to have to do another bug bomb in here, but this time I'm going to have the car open. Last time I did not, and
apparently
they survived. Clearly, look at all that.
They could just go in the car.
Sorry, ants. Now, just as a side note here, we love ants in this house, right?
Yeah, it's just they can't be where we're working.
They can't be where we're working. They can't live in our car. Man, it's
so
like
many ants.
So many ants.
It's like, look at all of them.
All right, well, that's one of the things when you're reviving old stuff that's been sitting outside for years.
Bugs.
Bugs are real. Okay, what do we got here now, kid?
We have a bunch of metal pieces that, like,
nuts
all
and bolts.
this stuff. We can use this and put it inside the tank. So when we put this stuff in here, acetone, it will sort of help clean out the inside.
That's right. We're going to put some acetone down in here. Well, this is some nasty business, so we're going to open up the door, let some fresh air in here, turn this on, recirculate, and we're going to put that in here. And as Nash said, we got a bunch of old like nuts and bolts here. Toss that in there and
plus it will clean off these nuts and bolts.
Plus it will clean off the nuts and bolts too. So now we're going to put in these nuts and bolts here. And now let me swap places with you, kid.
Okay. It smells funny.
to exercise. All right, we'll let this sit for a while. We have some appointments to go to for a couple hours, so we'll go do that, and then we'll come back and we'll agitate it some more, and then dump it out and see what we got. And we're back. It's now several hours later. We went to an appointment and we
Had dinner.
we had some dinner, and now we've got this has had some acetone sitting in it for a little while, and we're gonna give it a little bit more. The old
Shaker.
Yeah. Okay. Well, set that down there, kid.
Okay. Now we're gonna dump this out. See.
Oh, I think it's that clamp. Quick.
I smell it.
Having a hard time getting my nuts and bolts out because it turns out there's a little lip around the inside here, which I didn't even think about when I was putting that stuff in. That might make it a little easier. Let's see. One left in there. Oh. Nope. Hey! I guess you want to get it out, make a bigger hole. Well, all right, now that we've got all of our nuts and bolts out of there, let's look at this crud that we got out of the gas tank. You know, the tank itself inside, it doesn't look that bad at all. It's not like full of nasty varnish or like obvious rust, but look at all this grit that was in there. All right, well, I guess that means the next step's gonna be putting it all back together and getting it back on the car.
Okay, so next morning now, we're gonna put this gas tank back in, see if we can bleed the clutch, and then see if we can take it for a test drive around the neighborhood.
We'll see. Stay tuned. Okay, well, what were you doing here, kid?
We're getting this tank back in here.
We are trying to get this tank back in, and
we remembered we have this air wrench here.
yeah, we got a new compressor, thanks to Facebook Marketplace. A new, gently used from a nice gentleman, and I got myself an air wrench. This is something a luxury I've never had in all my years of home wrenching. Hopefully it'll make stuff like this a little easier. Okay, here we are. You can see we got the gas tank here, and we got the old filler nozzle here, and we got it real close. And I got old Nash over there operating the jack. So we're gonna see what we can do to get this hooked up here, and it's gonna be one of the hardest parts. I'll get that knocked out and I'll feel a lot better. Are you getting it?
Yeah, getting it.
All right.
This is a very awkward position.
It is an awkward position, and we're not done. We're not done with the awkward positions yet, but
No,
you know, we're
I
about
know
a
it.
third of the way done with getting this tank back in here, and I knew this job would be probably
A bear.
a bit of a bear, at the very least tedious. It hasn't been as bad as I expected it to be.
Oh, boy.
So, you getting it? Is it getting tight?
It's getting tight.
Okay, well, that's probably good enough.
There you go.
All right, good work, kid.
Ow! I just slammed my finger right here in between It's like that.
Oh,
Slammed
you're
it.
turning into a real mechanic now, kid.
Ow. That hurt.
It does hurt.
There it is.
Do you see the diamond-shaped hole up inside here? Right there.
Oh, right there.
See it?
Yeah.
Okay, so slide this thing in there, and then we turn it sideways.
Jack is getting
I know it's exactly in the way. We're gonna have to move it here in a minute, but go ahead and get that in there and turn it sideways. Turn it sideways the other way. There. Yep. You're getting it. You almost had it. Yeah, I know. It keeps wanting to bend. I'm holding the tank up. There it is. Now turn it clockwise. Almost.
Almost.
Just keep going. Hold on. You gotta kind of wiggle the way you do it. God, say the stupid jack is in the way. Oh, here we go. Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
All right, here, hold this end up.
Okay.
Well, all right, it's another day, and late last night I buttoned up the fuel tank. I got it all back in, got all the connections on, the straps on, the vent tube there. I put that back together, and hopefully we're gonna pour some gas in it here soon, and hopefully we won't have any leaks. Fingers crossed. We'll have to deal with that if we do.
We're gonna see if we can bleed the clutch.
We're gonna see if we can bleed the clutch today. And if we don't have any like major fuel leaks and we can get the clutch working again, we're gonna fire this thing up and see if we can drive it around the block. All right, Nash is getting underneath there to take a look. We're going to
See if it leaks, City.
we're gonna see.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, but we'll see. This is a big moment here. Hardly have.
Here goes the tank. No leaks so far.
Just gonna go ahead and reserve back a little bit here.
That's cold now.
You feel it? Yeah.
Yeah, but no leaks at all.
Well, that's what we want to see. Here's the gas cap.
We can't wait a little bit just to see
Yeah. Well, now we're going to
the clutch.
let that sit, and then we're going to bleed the clutch. See if we can get this thing rolling.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, well, we're under the car, and we're showing Nash what we're doing here. There's a clutch slave cylinder. There's the hose that goes to it. Where's it at? The hose that goes to it. And you see right above it here, you see this little thing where my finger is?
Yeah.
That's like a little nipple. It's like a 10 millimeter probably bolt that holds it in. I mean, the whole thing is essentially like a bolt with a hole through the middle of it, right? So when you loosen it, it lets the liquid out.
Yeah.
And then you tighten it back to stop it.
Stops it.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to open it just a little bit. I'm going to have you press down the clutch, and then I'm going to shut it. Then I'm going to have you take your foot off the clutch.
Okay.
And then I'm going to open it, have you press your foot down on the clutch, and then close it, and then have you take your foot off the clutch. And we're going to do that over and over until a bunch of brake fluid squirts out of that. And I'll lock it down, we'll top it off at the top, and it should be done.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do it. Okay, nothing. All right, you letting it go?
Yeah.
Okay. Press it. Let it go. 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 And it's really weird. I think maybe our bleeder valve itself is clogged there. All right. Well, the easiest way to tell if we got clutch or not is to start the engine and then try to put it in gear. So let's do that. we left in the last time we saw one another, we were in the process of trying to bleed the clutch, which was we spent a whole day messing around with that, and we finally just gave up the ghost and assumed that probably the master and or slave cylinder are.
So we went to a parts store and actually bought some slave cylinder and master cylinder.
Correct.
We're going to be putting them in today.
Yeah, we're going to try to swap these out today. The one thing we're waiting on is the master cylinder goes to a hard steel line, and then that comes out right here, and there's a little tube about this long of rubber to make the bend to go over to the slave cylinder. And we ordered that, and it was supposed to come to the house yesterday. Apparently it's still at the FedEx center here in town, so we may not get that till tomorrow. So if we manage to get both these components replaced today in good time,
that would be a good thing.
we'll have a head start. But I think what we'll probably do then is maybe just reuse the old hose just for now and just see if we can get the system going, and then
Technically, can't we just use that hose?
No, it's a different kind of hose. That fuel line hose is not for high pressure. This is a hydraulic hose. It's like super strong, and it has little special fittings on the end. So it's one of those things you can have one made. But
there's also just one ring, just in case.
Yep.
Just in case, like, we didn't have the fire, so we could use this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Apparently not. So.
Not in this case, but like I say, that's what's this. We always ask questions because then we can find out answers, right?
Yeah.
That's how we learn.
That's the point of questions.
Okay, well let's
get to it.
let's start messing with this master cylinder and see what we got. Okay, first we're gonna have to figure out how to get this off, but it looks like
you
that
just
bracket.
push those down.
It looks like it just slides in there, right? Oh, how you like them apples?
Oh, that was easy.
Oh, thank you, Japanese engineering. Look at that.
Oh, this connects stuff. We can just send it here.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Anybody could do that. Okay, here then we're look. It is the 10. Like I say, this is where you got to worry because you want the little nut to turn, but not this, because it'll twist it and kink it. So you just gotta like.
It's tight.
You gotta pray. Out of here. Because I don't want to have to replace this whole metal line because I goofed the end of it up.
That would not be good at all.
It's something that happens. Come on, man. Boy, it's really tight. It just doesn't want to budge. Well, we're just stripping out this here. So probably I'm just going to have to get the vice grips on it. Are there a pair of vice grips on the top of that toolbox?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Oh, hey.
You get it?
Cracked it, yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Okay, like I say, now stop and double check and make sure you're not kinking this up. So right here, this is what I'm taking off. And you want to like look right here and make sure that this isn't getting kinked or it's like getting a bend in it instead of a curve.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything in it.
It looks good right now. Well, maybe we can still get on there with this now that I cracked it loose. Look, see?
Perfect.
Yeah, and that penetrating oil helps too. Sometimes if you just let it like spray it on there and then go away for an hour and come back, all of a sudden, look at that, I can actually move with my fingers now. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Boy, I was stubborn to get started, but it's
the little bottle here is empty now.
Yeah, it's all dripped down into the drain pan. So I'll just open end that off of there. Come on. Oh, it's out. Just like that. Ta-da! Now we gotta get these guys off. Is my hammer over there? I think it's under your foot.
Oh, right there. Yep.
I'm gonna give this guy a little tappy tap here to. I don't have a lot of clearance to get my arm in there for, you know what I mean. So just gently coax him out of there. You don't want to go hog on this kind of thing, like just bashing and bashing until it's absolutely necessary. But sometimes a hammer's your best friend. Amplify your horsepower.
Yep.
There we go.
Hit amplifier.
Now getting this bottom one off is going to be more interesting.
Yeah.
How do you get in there? That's the question. Is that about the same size? It is about the same size. Oh, maybe that's the answer.
Okay.
Maybe.
These. Here.
This is the brake master cylinder.
Oh.
It does the exact same thing. You got one for the front brakes and one for the back brakes. So if one of them fails, the other circuit will still work, right? A lot of older cars
What if
just.
both of them fail?
Well, you have the emergency brake still, which is a cable.
What if the emergency brake fails?
Well, in a car with a manual transmission, you can use your gears to help you slow down.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you're just SOL, kid.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Sometimes you're just out of luck, but
That's
you do
why-
have
that's
you
why
do have a
I'm
lot of
asking.
backups in a car like this, which is nice. Hey, so see if you can pull that master cylinder out.
Okay.
Just straight out.
Got it.
I see it wiggling. I want it to go.
No, it looks like there's some sort of hose connected.
That's the push rod.
Whoa.
There it is.
There it goes. Got it.
Ta-da.
Huh. Here it is.
You got it. Oh my god. Oh.
You okay?
Yeah, I'll be right. Woo. Man.
I showed it to the camera too.
Uh-huh.
I showed it to the
Oh,
camera.
that's good. That's good.
It's like, here it is.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah, we got it.
High
right
five, kid.
here. Wow.
That's what I'm talking
Sheesh.
about. Good work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork does, in fact, make the dream work. Now, Dad is 6'2", and turns out getting this clutch pedal disassembled and reassembled here, just attaching it to the master cylinder is unbelievably difficult if you're a giant person with big old hands. But we're working on it. I'm being completely upside down in this car for a while now, and hopefully we're getting it worked out. Okay, well, we just did a little basic bench bleed procedure here to purge the air out of the master cylinder itself before we try to scoot that fluid down the lines. And once we get this part buttoned up, I'm going to go ahead and try to bleed it again before we mess with the slave cylinder. There's a possibility that it's just the master is the problem, and maybe we don't have to go to that trouble right now. So going to get down underneath there and once again try to bleed it like we spent the whole day doing the other day. But hopefully this time it'll be a little easier. Okay, well, we're down here bleeding the clutch system out here, the hydraulic system out, and Nash is starting to feel some pedal up there. Okay, go ahead and hold on a second there. Go ahead and give me about 5 of those and then hold her.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and holding.
Okay. Come on.
Oh, man, it's like almost pushing my foot back. I'm holding it down to the floor as hard as I can.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let it go. Okay, do that again, one more time. Give me 5 of those.
1,
Aha.
2, 3, 4, 5, and holding.
There we are, dude.
You got it? How's it looking down there?
Hang on to it.
Okay.
Make sure I get this tight. Okay, let go. Okay, hit it now. Dude, you are moving the clutch lever down here. When you push the clutch in, now let go. Yeah, when you press it down. Yep, you are engaging the clutch right now, dude.
Awesome.
All right,
Yes.
This is good news. Okay, go ahead and let her go. Okay, let that car down off the jack there. Watch where you're sitting. You want
I know. I'm making sure that I can use my monkey arms to reach.
Yeah. So you don't want the car coming right down on you. If you can do it, just crack it gently at first if you can. It's kind of hard sometimes.
Try to do it gently and it's hard to go.
I know.
And then use brute force to do it.
I know, it's that initial crack is the hardest part, you know.
Can't get it while being gentle.
Well.
Yep, it happened.
Well, we got the clutch bled, it looks like. So we're going to try to fire up the car and see if we can get it to move under its own power. First, I'm probably going to try to, it runs and it idles, but not very smoothly. So I might do a little bit of the old Italian tune-up here on it, spraying some stuff into the carbs, see if we can blow some gunk out here. So I got all the doors opened up in here. So we're going to see how that goes. That's interesting. All right, we're gonna see now. It seems like we got some clutch. We got the engine running.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
We're gonna see if we can drive this car.
We're moving. It's the first time this car has moved under its own force in 7 years.
That's correct. This will be the hard part, is driving it through our awkward driveway here.
And then driving it back through, of course. That's like...
So bright. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't have a whole lot of brake. Let's say that for it.
There isn't a seat belt that actually works in here, so...
We're just taking around the block. Temperature gauge works.
Yes! That's awesome!
Not bad, really. Considering.
This is just... There's ants still crawling all over.
Are there ants still?
Yes.
We're getting the ants a ride, man.
Starting that climb.
Temp is going way up, but we're right around the corner from the house, so
Just go this way and then maybe...
let's just go right back to the driveway. Oh yeah, the temperature gauge is maxing out. We're just gonna tuck you right back where we had you.
Yay!
That'll be the next thing we
We're gonna
work
have to
on.
put
Will
it
be,
in reverse.
that'll be the next thing we do is check the coolant.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Oh yeah, she's getting real hot now.
At least this will be a good cliffhanger for the video.
Dub, dub, dub. Right.
Whoa, what was that?
That was, the clutch is barely activating enough to shift because it needs to be adjusted. It's not a big deal, but
That was awesome! Yes! Yay!